Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and I'm a bit excited today. I've just received my new stencil designs, which are chain links. It comes in 3 different sizes. I've only got 2 of them here, but this is the company who makes them, PM Artist Studio. I'll put a link to these in the description box below. I'll also put another link to all of my other product designs with this company as well. And I'm eager to use them, and I'm also going to use them alongside a couple of my other stencils, as well as a stencil or 2 from other people. So my thought is I want to play in my art dump journal again, and there's a page in here that, let's just take this out. It doesn't need to be in here. I'll end up getting so much paint on it, it'll be ridiculous. Not that it's pristine, not that it's meant to be protected. However, that's what it... Oh, well, I think somebody asked me dimensions. Right. Dimensions of this cover are... What's that? 8 inches by 12. So this is 8 by 12. The spine is... I'd say 1 1/4 inches. The signatures I've put inside, approximately, because of course they can be any torn papers I want, are about 7 1/4 maximum by 11 maximum. So hopefully that gives you some rough idea of what I'm working with. Let's put this out of the way. So there's a page that I've been doing clean-offs on in here, which is this one. And it just works perfectly for what I want to do today, which is use the chain link one. So I'm just putting a couple of clean pieces underneath so I can keep the other pages relatively clean. Hopefully you can see me where you are. Now, I kind of have an idea, and what I want to do shouldn't take long because the background is already beautiful. This background was basically just me clearing off brayers or palette knives or stuff like that. I do have my 5x7 gel print, my gel press here, and only because I may use that as like an ink pad for acrylic paints, which I know I'm going to pick them up on here. So I think we can jump straight in and get some stuff done. Not stencil, mask. Okay, these are masks by PM Artist Studio themselves called Rustic Gears. Kind of work for me in the best way. Now I'm going to use these as a stamp, okay? Because I just want a hint of cogs in the background. And I think I'm going to use Payne's grey paint, not black, because I think I'm going to use black for the wording, possibly. This piece is going to kind of be a bit of a statement, but not a bad one. Just a bit of a statement is the way I'm viewing it. Right, how am I going to do this? Right, so I'm just going to drop this onto my plate, tap it down so it's in contact. I don't want to run over the top of it with my brayer. That's what I'm trying not to do. Picking up paint. Now, I'm looking for almost a ghost print. I don't want perfect. See, I want just something in the background. I'm going to need my cloth, aren't I? Can't put my fingers in this, so I know I'm going to get fingerprints over everything else. I just want bits and pieces to pick up and put down. See, I want things just ever so slightly grungy is the way I'm going with this. Possibly there as well. I've got an idea of what I want, and I don't normally come in with an idea, but I think today I have. So these will just get put to one side to let that all dry. Now, I've got black on there, and I did want to do something else in black. What was it? I wanted to pull in some of this. This is just corrugated cardboard, and I'm using it as a stamp. So I'm just going to come in, and I'm going to stamp the odd bit here and there. Oh, it didn't come off very much at all, did it? I think maybe my paint is drying up on me already. Oh no, there it is. So hopefully you're all doing okay out there in the land of wherever you are. Right. Yes, that's kind of what I wanted. Now, I wanted to make this look very industrial, so I've just got, these tubes are actually the middles of washi tapes. As you can see, I'm just, everything needs to be faint in the background as far as I'm concerned. I don't want it to be pronounced. I think that will do for that. Right, I need to get that cleaned off there. I need to grab some tissue. Just pulling in a bit of tissue just to pick that up. Right, let's see where we're up to. So I've got that on there. I want to make this quite dark, as in dark and sinister more than dark and dark, if that sort of makes sense to anyone but me. Right, that can go in the cupboard. Just clean up, because if you don't clean black up as you're working, it's going to go everywhere. Black is one of those migrant colours. That's quite interesting, actually. Migrant colours that just travels. Give that a little wipe. Now, also, because this is industry, I'm thinking there will be greys and silvers in it. So I'm viewing this as copper, as in the metallic copper. I do have silver. Now, silver for me, to be honest with you, I very rarely use it. It's not one of those things that actually works for me. So I'm just going to come in and put a bit of this in, just coming in with fingers this time. Nothing more than that. Just to, up again, put that whole feel of well, industry, machinery. Now, I could, of course, have used an embossing plate or something and put in rivets, stuff like that, but it's just that I want to keep this quite simple. I wanted it to be more of a statement than actually just, you'll see what I mean when I get there. I'm not trying to be shy about telling you what it is. It's just I feel that I want to just get on with it. Right, so now I want to do the chains. Now, I don't want to do them in black because I've got words to go on here I think that I want to do in black. So we've got this colour, and let's get a brown, which is this colour. Is that too close? No, that's not too close. And the reason I'm choosing these two colours is this could be rust and this could be patina from copper. So let's grab that out. And this is what I'm going to put on my chains. So I'm going to sort of double dip. So I'm going to brown on the go there. I will probably need more, but I can always add more. I can't take it off. And I'm going to get the patina colour. If it would like to come out, I need to buy a new set of, oh, that was way more than I needed. I need to buy a new set of Artesas. Right, now, I think I'm going to go with the 9x12, only because if I use the 5x7, I'm likely to want to reline stuff up. And if I got the bigger one, I don't need to. So I'm just going to come in. Now, I just want to check that it's actually showing up. It is showing up, right? That's sort of what I was looking for. And I want this to almost be a curtain of chains. They don't all have to be linked to each other. Because of their nature, they will be assumed to be joined anyway. Make sure this is doing what I want. It is doing what I want. Now, as I said, I'm kind of working with sort of symbolism here. Yes, chains for industry, but also chains for people being tied to jobs and work, and the whole need to have to work. I'm going to bring in a bit of that patina colour. I'm just kind of come in areas. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just giving me a little bit of a difference. And because I'm adding the brown, it's not that vibrant turquoise colour. Let's just lift that up. Yes, that's what I'm looking for, right. Now, because it's a repeated pattern, I know it's a repeated pattern because I drew it, I can just lay it on and make this a continual, which is what I'm looking for, like continuous across the whole page. And that's why I chose the 9x12, because obviously the 9x12 makes it a lot easier than if I was doing it with the 5x7. And then come in a bit with a bit more of that patina colour. We're not looking for happy slappy here. We're looking for dark. And as I said, dark in mood, not in colour necessarily. Maybe a bit down there as well. Right, so that's good. I'm getting what I want there. This can go to one side to dry. I won't need to wash this, not at the moment. Right, let's give this a bit of a clean up with tissue. I'm using wet strength tissue here, but I don't always use wet strength tissue. I do use gift wrap tissue. Now, a few beginners have contacted me about their gel plates and said, Ceri, why is it we've started and we thought we had everything we needed, then everyone tells us we need wet strength tissue, but it's so expensive. You are right, it is expensive. If you have a friend you can share a larger bundle with, it makes it more economical to buy the larger bundle. And the sheets are huge. You can cut the sheet in half, probably into quarters, depending on the size of the plate you're working with. However, you can do a lot of these techniques with gift wrap tissue. So I'm going to endeavour in the next couple of weeks to do a video using my gel plate, purely using gift wrap tissue, because there are some hints and tips to using it, and I'd like to share them with you, because I hate it when people come in and they're so excited and then find they can't do what the rest of us are doing, possibly because they've got the wrong equipment or not the right amount of knowledge to do it. So we will be experimenting with that. Okay, almost getting there. Right, what was the next bit? Now I have two stencils here. And I'm just going to hold up this because it's easy for you to see. It's a one-piece stencil. As you can see, it's well loved by me. And it gives you all of these words that are to do with manufacturing and industry. And then there's another version of it, which is style 2, where they're all in different directions. And this is what I'm going to use today. Again, they come in a couple of different sizes, but I want to use the large one. As you can see, it's been used several times by me in the past. This one, however, is definitely going to be done with black, because I want that whole, how do I say it, almost like a threat. Now, it's worth saying here, if you're going to be sponging paint through like I am here, then you need the words in the correct orientation. If you're using them on a gel plate, one gel plate, you need to turn them over so the words are backwards, because when you lift the paint off, they will then become the right side. I know it, you're probably going, what? Believe me, it's worth mentioning it, guys, because even I've made that mistake, and I'm the designer of the flipping thing. So, right, just going to put a bit of black. This is Mars black paint here. And I'm going to take my sponge, just a cosmetic sponge, could be whichever sponge you want it to be. Right, I'm going to put Industry up over this light area here. Now I'm going to, can you see this? You can't see this, right? I'm going to take a bit of the black and I'm going to sponge off a lot of it. And then I'm going to come in, because the secret to sponging through a stencil is actually to build up the colour, not to go in hard and heavy straight away. Because what that will do, it will squish under. Now, there are no guarantees it's not going to squish under, but just know that it's easier to go in with layers of paint than it is actually going in hard and fast, as I've said. Now, I'm sort of getting bits of words. I don't want the entire thing, I just want bits. The important word for me was industry, which you can see there. I am going to choose the odd word. Did I just knock you? I'm sorry. I think I knocked you with my glasses. I am going to pull out the odd word that I think is really prevalent to what I'm doing here, like worker and rust and industry. Labour would be a good one as well. If anyone's asking, yes, I have included man and woman on these stencils, because a lot of the time, historically, we only think of men as being labourers, but without the women, the men couldn't have done what they did. So just be aware, it's something to think of. Now, I don't want the word technology. Chain might go in there, and word smelt. And remember, when the war was on, well, I'm talking about my country because I'm not sure about all the other countries, but when the war was on, the women are the ones who kept industry running while the men were off fighting. So, I mean, I think that it's very important that we acknowledge that it's not just men, basically. So, is Ceri having a sexist moment here? Right, okay. I've turned it 90 degrees so that if I did happen to repeat any word, then it's going to be in a different orientation. These go in all different directions, so the up, down, side, some are even upside down. That's important to me because I never know which way I want to use them. Factory would be a really good word to have about there, and so would machine. Yeah, it took me a while actually to come up with all these words. I was sat down trying to design this. I knew what I wanted, and I knew I wanted to theme it as in industry and all of that lot, but it was so hard to find words that were depictive of what I was actually trying to say. So it took a while to draw this one up. Right, like that. Right, now I'm going to come in and have a little tidy again of this black paint. And we're almost where I need to be. And believe it or not, we're almost finished. As I said, it helps when I have a plan in my mind, which isn't really the reason I wanted to create this, but it sort of is. Now I'll clean this off just so I can use it for the next bit. Right, we're done with the brayer. I need to, so I've got a special piece over here that I'm trying to protect because I don't want it getting dirty. So let's put the brayer by. Right, now I want to come in now and I'm going to do some splatters on here, and I want the splatters to be red. And I want them to be red to depict basically blood, sweat and tears. Just the whole thing about in times gone by, and we're talking historically, the whole focus of industry was making money in manufacturing. The cheapest element was actually manpower, so it didn't matter if someone lost a limb or got injured or was killed even. So basically the moguls that were running it was keep it going, no, don't turn the machines off, just dig the body part out of the machine. That thing hopefully has changed a lot. So right, so I want to come in with some splatters, and I'm using crimson red because that's as bloody as I can get it. So I'm just going to put a bit on a plate. Don't want a huge amount of splatters. Let's not make this gore, as in Jack the Ripper gore. Let's just make something. Oh, where's my fan brush gone? There it is. Don't need a fan brush. I prefer to use a fan brush. Right. Put it onto my fan brush. I would normally check that it's all right, but I know that I've done splatters enough to get away with this. Right, some of you are going to say, Ceri, I thought you said no to gore. I did say no to gore. This isn't gore. Believe me, you want gore, I'll show you gore. No, I won't show you gore. It's not my style at all. Right, that can go to one side. Right. I'm going to take these backing papers out because I don't want these red dots of paint contaminating anything else I've got on the go in the studio, which, believe me, there's about 15 projects on the go at the moment in here, and they are all over the place, balanced on every flat work surface I've got. Right, let's put those to one side. So we are almost done with this. I think what I want to do is I want to pause for a second, hit this with a hairdryer, because if I intermittently smear something, I am not going to be a happy artist. Okay, so pause for 2 seconds. And it's dry enough for me to handle, so I'm happy with that. See, the red on there, once that crimson red dries, it goes quite a lot darker, which is why I like using it for blood. Not that I do blood that often, but there you go. Okay, part of the statement I'm trying to make about this is very much the split between the classes. Like, it would be dirty and grimy and dangerous working at a factory, but then you have the mogul or the owner who is in his own pristine little office, and basically this is what this is going to represent. So what I've done is I just basically got some watercolor paper, put some water on it, drop some color and let it dry, and then he's going to be the owner of the factory, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick him to this. And then I'm going to cut this down so it's almost as if he's in a doorway looking into the industry. He's quite safe and happy. Everything's nice and clean and bright in his world. He doesn't need to worry about it. I just want to see which bit I fancy having the best. I think that. Right, first of all, I do need to ground my little man. And I'm going to do that quite easily. I'm going to get a sheet of paper. I'm just going to tear something, just so that I'm creating an even line that could be used as a floor level, basically. And I'm going to come in, I'm just using some distress ink because that's just the way I feel about using it. Right, I'm just going to push this down into it. I don't mind if it gets blotchy, I don't mind if it... I just wanted a surface for him to stand on. Now, I'm going to use art glitter glue because obviously this is cardstock. And once he's on there, I'm then going to cut this down as if it's a doorway, which wouldn't be hugely bigger than he is. But I do want enough of the background to be seen to complete the statement. And now you can see what I was doing. You can understand why I was worried about getting everything dirty. Yes, I think I like him slightly over there. So just putting him down, pressing just to make sure everything's in contact. Right, I now need to do a little bit of cutting down. I'm going to use art glitter glue to put it onto my background as well. Need a bit of tissue paper. I'm going to do this while I smooth it down. I want to put white tissue paper over this so I don't end up destroying it in some way. So I need to make this about the size of a doorway, which would be a little bit taller than he is. And we've got enough soil. I can take a little bit of that off as well. He's important to this, but he's not the dominating feature. You need to take, can you see? You can see. Right, that white bit there, I wanted white because it's all clean and pristine. I didn't need it to be bright white though. Right. See, I think when he's down there, it's going to be fine. Now, I do think I want to just ink around the edges of that because I want it to look like the smog is encroaching on him, or the fumes, or whatever you wish to call it. It will just blend him a bit into the background. It'll also give a bit more of a three-dimensional feel to it. There you go. And that stark white is going to really, really push that out. Right, just drop the tissue into the red paint. That's not a good thing to have hanging around. Right, he needs to go down now. I quite like the idea of him next to the word factory. Do I feel this is... No, it feels right there. This just feels like it needs something. I don't know what it needs. Let's see if I can just bring that stencil in one more time and see if I can just get something down that side. If I could get the word industry down there. I'm not sure I've got enough paint. Let's put a little bit on my mat. And this is why it's called a messy mat. Just a little bit. If I could just get industry down there, I think that would be the perfect word. Having it straightish would also be quite good. I'm also considering blacking around the corners, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that'll do. That was what I was looking for. Yeah, I was wondering whether I should go around the whole thing as in black. Let's get the man on there and make a decision after that. Let's get the fingers all nice and dry. Right, yes, he can go there. Right, I'm using art glitter glue because I'm just being lazy. I would usually use matte medium, but the art glitter glue is on my desk. The matte medium isn't. And if I use a matte medium, I've then got to use a brush, and then I've got to clean the brush, and I'm only really sticking this one piece on, so worst case scenario, it comes off in the future, and I just re-stick it down again. It's not like it's a journal or anything. Right. Just coming over the top and push you down that way. See, I just didn't want to get my hands on him because my fingers are all dirty. I'm thinking I would like to do the edges in black, to be honest. I'm thinking that might just give it the intensity that it's looking for. I mean, part of me thinks I could also do red, but I'm not sure that's the right thing. Push that off there. Right, here's on there. Right, where are those clean pieces again? Let's slide these under. And we're doing okay. Try not to drag things through the red paint, which is sat over there. Right, let's get the black paint out again. So we're almost vignetting or edging with ink, but I'm edging with paint. And the whole thing about that is that the whole darkness of the situation, especially if I make the top heavier with black than the bottom, because then that really does speak of the smog building up in the ceiling. I think I did something about like workhouses or something before. Did I do it? I think I might have done it for Margaret Miller or something, a Margaret Miller challenge, or I've done it somewhere. I can't remember where I've done it. It's in one of my art journals. Never mind, it'll come to me. Now, I could have gone overboard and done pipes and things like that, but I didn't want this turning into steampunk. And the moment people see sort of pipes and cogs and stuff like that, they immediately go, oh, it's a steampunk piece. No, it's not a steampunk piece this time. This is about, well, it's about what it says. Hopefully, if I've done my job properly, it will be obvious that this is about manpower and industry and darker times, which I'm hoping we've moved away from. We have in this country, but there are other countries, maybe not so much. So put the lid back in the ink, pin back in the paint, in the glue, Griffiths, the glue. Right, let's take that out of there. These are clean. That out of there, and I'm going to call it done, guys. I think that's exactly what I wanted. He stands out as hopefully the owner, but most people think he's the foreman or something, but it actually says what it says to me. So I'm going to put that to one side to fully dry, and it's time for me to say goodbye. So I'm Ceri the Crafter, that's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time, goodbye now.